Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Janine with our daily Pilates practice. Today we are going to do some work around the hips, some strengthening of glutes, stretching of the quadriceps, and some great mobility and strengthening around the ribs and the core. So some of these exercises we've seen together, not necessarily together in the same sequence, which we'll practice today. Starting with ourself lying on our back, we're going to do some hip rolls to mobilize the spine, hip rolls as well as getting into some windshield wipers to open up the hips, and then we'll come up to seated and do the exercise called the saw. So let's lie down on our backs. You can get there nice and slow with me as we roll down, taking a breath in, and exhale to roll vertebra by vertebra, all the way back down through the spine and down to your back. You'll bend your knees and bring your feet hip width apart. Now, if you've got a Pilates ball, which is just a soft air-filled ball, or a yoga block, that might be a nice prop to use between the legs today. You could also put a pillow or a rolled up blanket between the knees. So I'm going to use my soft Pilates ball just between the feet, between the knees. Feet are down and stable. So roll the shoulders back, find that nice anchoring of the feet. Leg bones are aligned parallel. Arms can just press down beside you. This movement starts with an exhalation to tip the pelvis back. So I'm in a neutral position to start. I take a breath. Exhale, tip the pelvis, so pubic bone towards the belly button. And as I do that, I then start to roll up from my seat, reaching my knees forward. So press into the prop to help you think of that lengthened leg line. Take a breath here. And then you want to start to roll back down from the top of your spine. So that's from the breastbone back down through the low back, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. We inhale at the bottom and then start again. Exhale, tip the pelvis back. Think of the glutes working to roll the hips up. As you come up into this position, be careful you're not thrusting the ribs up. So we need to keep that pelvic tilt feeling. And as we roll down, same idea, rolling vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. So let's do 3 more. Inhale at the bottom. On the exhale, tip the pelvis and roll. Reach those knees forward, take a breath, and then roll back down, bone by bone by bone. Inhale again at the bottom. Exhale, tip the pelvis back, roll it up, breathe at the top, and roll down, bone by bone by bone. Now we're going to do the same thing with a little foot variation. So we're going to lift the toes off the floor as you roll up. So keep your toes elevated, then put your forefoot down and lift your heels as you roll back down, bone by bone by bone. Put your heels down, lift your forefoot up, exhale, curl the hips up, keep those toes lifted. Put your toes down, lift the heels, and roll back down, top of the spine, middle spine, low spine, all the way back to neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. Toes lifted, dig those heels in, curling up. Put your toes down, lift your heels as you breathe, and then roll back down. So think of that wave of movement from the top of the spine all the way back to the bottom. 1 more time. Heels down, toes up, curl the pelvis, lift the hips. Inhale as you lower the toes, lift the heels, and then exhale as you roll down, vertebra by vertebra. Take your time and release down to the floor. Beautiful. And then release the prop from between your legs. You can put that just to the side. Let's go ahead and take the arms, open out to the side. You can either go wide like a T or form a little shape that's like a goalpost. So the elbows are bent at a right angle. You can open your feet a little wider so they're in line with the outer edges of your mat, And then we'll windshield wiper the legs nice and gently from side to side. Now as you windshield wiper your legs, you want to keep pressing your shoulders gently back into the floor. You want to also allow your feet to turn from the inner edge to the outer edge, from the inner edge to the outer edge. And then finally, think about your ribs not arcing. So same thing, we want to keep a connection through the torso so that we're not overarching the mid-spine. So just feel into the breath. Feel into those ideas, shoulders back, allowing the feet and the hips to turn and rotate. Keeping the ribs down. One more here. And then go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. You can just give that a nice little squeeze. And then using your hands, you can allow your whole hip, leg, lower body to circle. Just a nice little massage around the low back. And then we'll do it the other direction. Beautiful. And then you can hold the backs of the legs and roll yourself up to sitting. Nice. So we're going to finish with our saw exercise. Just a great movement, quite complex, a lot going on in terms of what is being asked of you in the spine, in the ribs, in your stability, and in your movement. So is a lot, but it's well worth the practice. The legs are open now, about as wide as your mat again, and the feet are flexed. We want to sit up nice and tall on the sitting bones. The arms are going to come out to the side, not directly beside you, but slightly in front of your shoulders, with those shoulders feeling nice and steady down on your back. The first movement is a rotation, turning towards you. And as I turn to my right, I want to feel my left hip stay back and that left side obliques and core working to maintain it steady. The exhale goes up and over, rolling over that front leg, reaching the arms. Then as I inhale, I roll back up vertebra by vertebra, and then exhale to come home. So we inhale to rotate to the new side. That side that I'm not moving towards needs to stay steady. Exhale, chin towards your chest. Flex your spine, reach over that front leg, then roll back up from the bottom of the spine like you practiced with the hip rolls, bone by bone by bone. So it's a different movement position that we're starting from, but it's the same motion. Flexing the spine in one direction from the top down and then rolling up from the bottom up. Okay, let's try it again. Inhale to rotate. Exhale, curling up and over. Reach your arms actively. Inhale, roll back up. Exhale, center. One more time each way. Nice big breath in, reach. Exhale, curl up and over the legs. Inhale, roll up, use your core. Exhale, home. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Over you go. Inhale, rolling up, vertebra by vertebra. Exhale, home and release. Well done. Give your legs a little shake out. Give them a little pat. Cross your ankles. Come on up. We'll just stretch the legs out slowly, one leg at a time to open up through that hip. Go ahead and stretch one leg back. You can do a little rock forward and back a few times. Good. And then go ahead and change to your second leg. Just stretch that leg back, rock forward and back a few times. Nice, and release. Beautiful work. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that class today, mini class. Great practice, something nice to do at the end of your day, especially if you've been sitting a lot or just staying still in one position. Move through the hips, move through the spine, get some of that juicy rotation going. All right, until I see you next time, take good care. Bye for now.